Good morning, dear children. Welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss the new chapter from Social Science 2nd, Economic Growth and Economic Development. In this chapter, we are going to discuss economic growth, development indices, challenges faced by development in India, and sustainable development. Shall we start? Children, what is economic growth? Anybody know? Okay, I will say. Economic growth means an increase in the production of goods and services in an economy. What is economic growth? An increase in the production of goods and services in an economy is called economic growth. Increase in the output of goods and services implies an increase in the national income of a country. Understood? Increase in the output of goods and services implies an increase in the national income of a country. In short, economic growth means an increase in the total output of a country compared to that of the previous year. What is total output of a country? That is national income. Okay, economic growth means an increase in the national income of a country compared to that of the previous year. All of you understand what is an economic growth? An increase in the production of goods and services in an economy is called economic growth. Okay. Next, let's see what changes can be found in an economy as a result of economic growth. You already know that. What changes can be found in an economy as a result of economic growth? Growth in agricultural sector, growth in construction sector, increase in industrial output, growth in insurance sector, progress in banking sector, growth in tourist sector, change in the means of transport and communication field. These are the changes can be found in an economy as a result of economic growth. Then, how does economic growth take place? Let's see. Progress in the agricultural sector and industrial sector creates more employment opportunities. Progress in the agricultural sector and industrial sector creates more employment opportunities. The income earned by the workers through employment increases their purchasing power. It helps to the growth of service sector activities. Example, transportation. It leads to the economic growth. Okay, you understand? Then, what changes will take place in an economy due to economic growth? With economic growth, the country's capacity to fulfill the needs of the people also increases. It is believed that progress in the production sector creates more employment opportunities in a country. The income earned by the workers through employment increases their purchasing power. This improves the standard of living of the people. Understood? What changes will take place in an economy due to economic growth? I will say again, with economic growth, the country's capacity to fulfill the needs of the people also increases. It is believed that the progress in the production sector creates more employment opportunities in a country. The income earned by the workers through employment increases their purchasing power. This improves the standard of living of the people. Then, let's see how can economic growth rate be explained. Economic growth rate is calculated on the basis of increasing national income. How economic growth rate be explained? or calculated? Economic growth rate is calculated on the basis of increasing national income. Economic growth rate is the rate of increase in the national income during the current year as compared to the previous year. How economic growth rate is calculated? Economic growth rate is the rate of increase in the national income during the current year as compared to the previous year. All of you understand? Next, you know that when improved living conditions are available to all, the standard of living of the people improves. Economic development takes place when the standard of living improved with economic growth. For an improvement in the standard of living, several other living conditions should be made available along with an increasing national income. They are availability of nutritious food for all, better healthcare facilities for all, educational facilities for all, availability of clean water for all. When improved living conditions are available to all, the standard of living improves with economic growth. Okay, a country is said to have attained economic development when there is economic growth and the benefits of which is accessible to all. So, let's say economic development equal to economic growth plus better standard of living. What is economic development? Economic growth plus better standard of living. All of you understand? Next, let's see how countries are classified into developed and developing nations. What is the basis of this classification? How can we identify whether a country has developed? Anybody know? Okay. There are certain recognized indices used to measure and assess economic development. They are known as development indices. What are development indices? There are certain recognized indices used to measure and assess economic development. They are known as development indices. Okay, they are per capita income, physical quality of life index, human development index, human happiness index. These are the indices used to measure the countries into developed and developing country. Okay, which are per capita income, physical quality of life index, human development index and human happiness index. Let's see one by one. Next, let's see how per capita income take as a development index. Per capita income was considered as the simplest and was popularly used in the past. This is a conventional index of development. Per capita income is calculated by dividing the national income by population. Per capita income equal to national income divided by population. As per capita income, two aspects must be analyzed in order to find out whether a nation has achieved economic development. They are growth rate of national income and population growth rate. Growth rate of national income and population growth rate. Per capita income increases only when the growth rate of national income is more than population growth rate. Increasing per capita income is an index of development. It is also useful in comparing economic growth of different countries. Then per capita income as a development index has certain limitations. First one, per capita income is an average income. For example, assumes that the per capita income of a country is rupees 40,000. This does not mean that each individual of the country receives an income of rupees 40,000. It includes the population earning course of rupees as well as those with very low income. So, this is merely a numerical calculation. That is the first limitation. Another one, while calculating economic development on the basis of per capita income, it cannot be claimed that improvement in the quality of living has been attained if the rich or poor disparity persists. Another one, per capita income as a development index ignores factors like education, availability of nutritious food and healthcare facilities that improve the quality of living. Another limitation, concerned only with the economic growth, per capita income as a development index does not take into account social welfare and the equitable distribution of income. These are the limitations of per capita income calculation. Okay. Another index is physical quality of life index. I told you per capita income as an index to measure economic development has some limitations. That's why physical quality of life index came into use in 1979 when an index more scientific than the per capita income was found necessary. Some of the factors that the physical quality of life index taken into consideration. First one, life expectancy. Second, infant mortality rate. Third, basic literacy. These are the factors that the physical quality of life index taken into consideration. Okay. Increase in healthcare facility to better standard of living and economic development. Introduction of new educational facilities improves quality of education and standard of living. Like per capita income, physical quality of life index has some limitations. Though the physical quality of life index is better measure of economic development than per capita income. The fact that it ignores per capita income is a major limitation. Okay. Another index is Human Development Index. What is human development? Human development is the expansion process of opportunities that helps the people to improve their human resources. What is human development? Human development is the expansion process of opportunities that helps the people to improve their human resources. Then what are the factors that help in attaining human development? Improved educational facilities, increased training, better healthcare facilities. These are the factors that help in attaining human development, which are improved educational facilities, increased training, better healthcare facilities. Okay. This Human Development Index is prepared on the basis of three main components. They are per capita income, another one literacy and gross school enrollment rate, third life expectancy. Understood? These are the three main components used to prepared Human Development Index: per capita income, literacy and gross school enrollment rate, life expectancy. Okay. Another indices is Human Happiness Index. Anybody know what is Human Happiness Index? Human Happiness Index is a developmental index recognized by UNO. Here, 9 indicators including mental health and standard of living are considered for this. The Human Happiness Index was originally developed by Bhutan. For a calculation of Human Happiness Index, some of the indicators are considered. Mainly 9 indicators are considered for the calculation of Human Happiness Index. They are health, standard of living, conservation of nature and biodiversity, social life and neighbor relations, good governance, cultural diversity, education, effective use of time, mental health. These are the indicators considered for the calculation of Human Happiness Index, which are health, standard of living, conservation of nature and biodiversity, social life and neighbor relations, good governance, cultural diversity, education, effective use of time, and mental health. Do you know what is the rank of India among the world countries according to Human Happiness Index? According to Human Happiness Index 2018, India ranks 133 among the world nations in the Human Happiness Index. Okay, India ranks 133 among the world nations in the Human Happiness Index 2018. Okay. Do you know which are the countries have the first 3 ranks? Finland, first, Norway and Denmark, second and third respectively. Okay. Development in India face several challenges. Do you know what are the important problems in a developing nations or country? Poverty, illiteracy, malnutrition, economic inequality, death by starvation and unemployment. These are the problems in a developing nations. Okay. Mainly poverty. Poverty is the main challenge faced by development in India. Then what is poverty? Poverty means unable to fulfill the basic needs. What is poverty? Development in India faces several challenges. Among them, the most important is poverty. According to the Rangarajan panel report prepared for the Planning Commission of India in 2011 to 12, 29.5% of people were poor. Apart from poverty, there exist other problems like illiteracy, malnutrition, economic inequality, death by starvation and unemployment in developing and developed countries. Unemployment is another challenge faced by India. For more than 20 years, the trend seen is that in spite of an economic growth rate of 8 to 9%, the employment growth rate still remains at 1% or less. This means that economic growth of 8 to 9% does not create employment opportunities. Okay. Another challenge faced by development is the problem of inequality. There are three types of inequality: economic inequality, inequality in income, regional inequality. All these types of harsh inequalities prevail in India. Economic inequality is measured on the basis of the share of people in the total wealth of a country. Inequality in income, on the other hand, is based on the people's shares in the income generated in a nation. Regional inequality is the third type of inequality. For example, majority of the population in metropolitan cities have access to employment, better hospitals, good roads, clean drinking water, transport system, schools, colleges, industries, etc. But certain rural areas in states like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and Odisha lack these facilities. In those regions, there exists death by starvation, unemployment, lack of good roads and telecommunication facilities, etc. Regional inequality signifies such a disparity in development among different regions. All of you understand? Challenges faced by development in India. Phase 1, poverty, unemployment and inequality. Okay, besides these, illiteracy, malnutrition, economic inequality, death by starvation and unemployment. Okay, these are the challenges faced by development in India. Okay, we have understood that the main goal of any economy is economic development. As the result of economic development, many changes take place around us. For example, good transportation facilities, rapid urbanization, increasing industrial units, attain progress in the communication field, increased generation of energy. Isn't it? It is clear that such changes improve the standard of living of people and economic condition of nations. However, the greed of human beings remains. It leads to over exploitation of resources and degradation of nature. Okay, you can see through this picture that depict some ill effects of urbanization and commercialization of agriculture. In the quest for economic growth, human intervention often results in the depletion of natural resources and degradation of environment. In order to construct buildings and roads, quarries are made and hills are leveled. This adversely affects the human life and local weather condition. Though these activities lead to economic growth, they create problems for certain sections of the society. What we require is a human development approach which does not impact the environment. In other words, we need sustainable development. The Bread-and-Land Commission, appointed by the United Nations Organization, has defined sustainable development as development which meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own need. What is sustainable development? Development which meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This view ensures social justice while utilizing the natural resources. The essence of this concept is that natural resources are not to be enjoyed by one generation alone. The future generation too has the right to use them. Understood? Sustainable development has three main goals: environmental goals, economic goals, and social goals. Okay. Then, what are the activities that challenge sustainable development? Anybody know? Reclamation of paddy fields, intensive use of pesticides, polluting and wasting clean water, leveling of watersheds, deposition of waste material in public places, deforestation, overuse of natural fuels. These are the activities that challenge sustainable development. Once again, reclamation of paddy fields, intensive use of pesticides, polluting and wasting clean water, leveling of watersheds, deposition of waste material in public places, deforestation, overuse of natural fuels. Okay. So, let's suggest some measures for economic development that ensure availability of natural resources for future generation as well. First one, rainwater harvesting, planting trees and plants, more use of solar energy, establishment of biogas plants, protection of rivers, paddy fields, forests, etc. Avoid the use of plastic materials. These are the measures for economic development that ensure availability of natural resources for future generation as well. Okay. Dear children, our chapter finished here. So, let's recall what we have learned today. Today, we have discussed the difference between economic growth and economic development, and some of the indices used to measure economic development. Then about sustainable development, goals of sustainable development, and some of the measures for economic development and sustainable development. Okay, I hope all should have understood well. That's all for today. Thank you and have a wonderful day.